going on?
I'm sorry, I know I'm not supposed to be here, but Evelyn's school contract's due tomorrow.
I knew I was forgetting something. Let me, find a pen.
Hey.
Hey.
Not quite sure what Emily Post recommends in this situation, but I'm Tom.
Damien.
Hey. Sorry to intrude. I wasn't quite sure when she'd be coming home.
No problem.
Thank you so much for catching this.
Yeah. I'll get out of your way. It's good to meet you, and I'll see you later, hon.
So, seems like a nice guy.
Ooh.
Jules, you okay?
No, my stomach.
Here, lie down.
Ow.
Try to...
Get Tom. Ow.
Interesting case. 35-year-old woman with fever and abdominal pain. ER ruled out all the usual suspects.
Stop before you interest me to death.
And she's in an open marriage.
That's not interesting. It's just weird.
You know what's weirder? That other humans are monogamous in the first place. There's no other species on the planet that mates for life. And if you're gonna bring up swans, they cheat like everybody else. They just have better PR than rabbits.
Animals also eat their young and kill their rivals. That make it weird that most of us don't.
Says the guy whose opposable thumbs have been all over how many women who aren't his wife?
A functional open marriage is like a unicorn. It's a mythical creature that doesn't exist. Someone always ends up unhappy.
Our patient's unhappy because she's suffering from an intestinal blockage.
Boring. I'm gonna have to find a reason to rule it out.
What about herpes colitis? She picks up the infection from one of her partners. It takes root in her colon.
STD panel was clean.
Chances are this couple was unhappy in the first place. This is their attempt to save something that never... Go on.
Herpes might not register if she was exposed in the last 6 weeks.
But it would show up on a barium enema.
X-ray was clean. She doesn't have herpes colitis or abdominal pain.
It stopped hurting during the X-ray, which means it was just an intestinal blockage that passed. We should discharge her.
Absolutely. Just no need to find any underlying cause. These things never happen twice. Take her digestive system for a test drive. Give her a radio-opaque milkshake. X-ray every 15 minutes to see if it makes any unscheduled stops on the way through.
We'll be here all night.
Old Tao will be here all night. Go talk to the unicorn and tell me you don't believe.
I think something's wrong.
With your stomach?
My heart is racing.
Try to take deep breaths. I'm gonna try to slow your heart down.
Is this because of the blockage?
No, it's not working. Need a crash cart in here?
I need a list of all your sexual partners from the last 6 months.
Why?
Your wife had an arrhythmia. The progression of symptoms from bowel to heart makes a parasitic infection most likely. Since Julia hasn't been out of the country.
The only place that I've been recently is a business trip to Nebraska.
But either of you could have picked up a bug from one of your partners.
It's kind of complicated.
How many partners are we talking about? Ballpark.
None.
None.
We have a great sex life. I don't need anyone else.
So why not just tell her that and close this whole thing up?
You married?
I was.
Did you ever agree to go see a chick flick with your wife or pretend to enjoy classical music?
Stravinsky never groped my wife in a midtown hotel room.
She needs this. I don't. But I don't want her to feel bad about that.
They're both screwing around, that's one thing. But she has a piece on the side and he doesn't. The only way he'd be okay with that is if he's betraying her in some other way that in his mind makes them even. A unicorn isn't a unicorn. It's a donkey with a plunger stuck to its face.
Right. Even a guy who's not cheating is doing it for underhanded reasons.
No, he's not being cynical. He's assuming the husband is doing something to even the score, which means he thinks there is a score, which means, cheating swans aside, House believes in monogamy. He's being romantic.
What I believe is that men are genetically engineered to be jealous. Doesn't matter if I think there's a score, I guarantee you he does. Any of the wife's partners pan out?
She's been with 2 people other than Tom in the last 6 months. Neither of them have been outside the tri-state area.
So we're back to the husband.
You just said you believed he wasn't.
He's doing something behind her back. What better cover than a business trip to Nebraska? Like that's really a place.
Counting notified you 2 days ago about your patient's insurance.
Sorry, that's NSFW.
Here. He doesn't have any. Try not to bankrupt them.
Oh, I'm long past the number of procedures that will bankrupt him.
Julia's got insurance. I saw the policy number on the forms.
Policy lapse due to non-payment. I already made 3 calls about this. You should have been aware of that.
No, that's just a mistake. Of course we have health insurance.
We're actually a little behind on the premiums. But I pulled money out of my retirement account to cover it. They said that we'll be fine and...
Why the retirement account? We'll just give you a few minutes to...
By we, she means she.
I lost all of our savings.
Sounds like a secret to me.
Did Tom go home for the night? For starters, I told him to leave. I don't want him here. Money is a complicated subject.
Yeah, it's not the money. I mean, the money's bad, but... When we first opened our marriage, I got involved with a guy who lied about being single. And one day his wife calls me. She's crying and screaming and totally out of control. And I felt superior. I thought I don't ever have to worry about feeling this way because Tom and I are honest with each other. Well, here I am.
What's the matter?
My stomach.
Same pain as before?
Yeah, worse.
Get the portable ultrasound in here. We need to get a look at her belly.
Help me.
Treatment's not working. Her left kidney fell last night. The other one's right behind it. It's not ankylosing spondylitis.
Kidney biopsy showed she had IgA nephropathy, which could be caused by or associated with any of these conditions.
We've gone from too few ideas to too many, and our patient's running out of time.
Guy's wife's dying. He stops to buy flowers.
They're from his garden. Mercury poisoning fits.
Those are lilacs. My mom used to grow lilacs. My dad made her get rid of them. There were too many bees. We ruled out HSP because there was no inciting respiratory infection. But in rare cases, it can also be triggered by a bee sting.
We also ruled it out because there's no rash.
Maybe we just didn't see it. Have you been stung by a bee recently?
About a month ago.
What's going on?
I think your wife has Hanoch shin-line purpura. Systemic vasculitis can cause lesions and inflammation throughout the body. It's pretty awful. Which explains why it was named after a German. Actually, 2 Germans. Lesions can pop up in the heart, sometimes in the kidneys, but always on the skin. It means you'd have a rash somewhere.
I don't.
Not that you know of. Okay, I'm gonna have to check your holes. We'll start with the mouth. If there's nothing there, then things might have to get kinky. Say ah.
Ah.
Just kind of hoping for kinky.
Is that good or bad?
We'll treat her with high-dose IVIG and cyclophosphamide. You should be fine.
I'm gonna be okay. I love you.
That is adorable. Other than you still wanting to have sex with other dudes and him bankrupting your family, I think you kids are pretty much home free.